lobbying in Washington, D.C. And they call their own American Israel Public Affairs Committee. It's one of the most powerful lobbying organizations in the history of Washington, D.C. And it also worked through a combination of registered lobbies, evangelical, a Christian, a coalition building, all those think tank relationships they have it. So we are not the first. I'm talking about the productivity of having a lobbying firm. So we are not the first. Don't let anybody confuse you that there is no need for lobbyists. There is need for lobbyists. And just all of you that said Israel have it. Israel have it. It's not only us. Every component of the IPAC effectiveness, Briggy is doing in the same structural framework. In the same way. Are you going to look at Taiwan? Huh? Are you going to look at Taiwan? Taiwan does not have official US diplomatic recognition because the United States does not formally recognize Taiwan as a sovereign state. And yet, Taiwan has one of the most effective lobbying operations in Washington, D.C. Taiwan, because it is registered under FARA. And they have built this bipartisan coalition among themselves. The same thing our lobbyist is doing. What is different? Nothing is different. We are doing the same thing that they are doing. The result is that Congress passes legislation supporting Taiwan, sells it weapons and treats it as, the de facto ally, despite no formal recognition. That is the power of professional Washington lobbying. I'm talking about it. For a cause without a sovereign seat. So Briggy is walking the same road. Don't let anybody confuse you. What of the court that is is still fighting till today? The Kurdistan regional government has maintained Washington lobbying presence for decades, despite being a non-sovereign entity. Do you see the need why you have to come and fund your freedom? They registered under FARA as well, just like our Biafra Republic government in exile have done with our lobbies. And they have built this relationship with congressional members across both parties. Bipartisan system. You don't support one and leave the other. That is how America works. And as a result, the United States has provided military support to them as well. Even political protection, they have received it. They have also received political attention because Turkey is killing them. We are not doing anything different. A non-sovereign people with professional Washington representation can move American policy. And the courts proved it. Briggy is also proving it. Anybody telling you that you don't need lobbying firm to strategize for you in Washington, D.C. is not wishing you well. So unlike the Kurd and Taiwan, Briggy also has a deeply personal, visceral resonance with the most powerful political base in the current Republican Party. Evangelical Christians are also there. The Kurd had to make a strategic argument. Briggy is making both strategic and a moral argument at the same time. Double, because double portion is ours. You see? That is the difference. We are carrying two at a time. While courts have only strategic argument, we have both strategic and moral arguments. And in American politics right now, the moral argument now is that Christians are being killed. And it's the most powerful one. Why don't you appreciate what you have? Biafrans. Why don't you come together and fund? Let us get this thing once and for all. So when somebody tells you Briggy is just a small movement in the United States of America that nobody takes seriously, show them our record. If I don't just talk too much, because that is what our PM will do. Give them our website. This is a time for you to memorize our website, www.biafrarepublicgovernment.org. Go there and visit. And if you are just joining the space, kindly share the space. We are also raising funds here. Please donate. Space donation, Ejema and Eje, is appreciated and welcome. Send your receipt to my inbox. I'll pass it to the information minister. Very important. And I'm going to donate 10,000 Eje. Yes. So feel free to pick up the mic, make your donation, and send the receipt. Even if you are not on the mic, send your receipt to my inbox, send it at the comment section, inform me at the comment section. I will get it, compile it, and then send to our information minister, or Minister Betty will announce it during the fundraising. Minister Betty, always learn to check your inbox. So, please, yeah. So please pick the mic or pay it and send the receipt. Let me compile everything. So tell them no. We have further registration. We have congressional staffer briefing. We had it. We had Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission testimony. We have a AEI publication. We have Barron's coverage, France 24, name it. And above all, African Confidential came out, Patrick Smith, to tell the whole world how effective we are, how seriously we are. You see, so this is not a movement nobody takes seriously. That is a movement that has made himself impossible to ignore, and that is Biafra Republic government in exile. We are using the exact same tools that the most sophisticated foreign lobbying operation in Washington, D.C. use. We are following their footsteps. They succeeded. Why won't we succeed? We have already succeeded. That is why Nigeria is panicking to the extent of sending Remy to go to Washington, D.C. and lie that there is no genocide. It means that their lobbying is not working. It's not more effective. They have failed. And the news media rejected him. John Perkins, I think, is it John Perkins or whatever Perkins? I'm sorry if I've, pronounced his name, but I remember the surname Perkins. Denied her to use his platform to lie against the genocide of Christians in Nigeria. So, my people, I don't know if there is anybody. I wanted to look at the congressional testimony that was submitted before we now go to our Igwe, the main Igwe that made us to be very, very proud. I don't know, my co-host, do you have anything to say? Or should I continue? Are you there?
Yeah, go ahead because we don't have much time. No, the Prime Minister is coming up very soon, so
Okay.
just go ahead so you can round up. And there's still time. We can take just a few hands and
Okay.
call it a day.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, thank you. So, when we hear about the Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission testimony, we just have to torchlight it because today's space is for everybody that has been sitting on the fence to answer this question. We are here to tell you how seriously, and also to tell Chris how seriously the Biafra Republic government is being taken in US policy circles. So please share this space. And if you are in this space, you've not joined the de facto Telegram group, what are you waiting for? If you have not joined your state admin, your state group, Telegram group, how will you get information? How will you contact your state admin to pay your liberation tax before the 15th of every month? Go and join. Go to de facto Telegram group. You will see the link to all the state, the 40 states in Biafra land. Click there and join. And identify yourself with your people and pay your liberation tax. If you have not also joined the Biafra community, if you look at this space, I am hosting it from the Biafra community. We are more than 80 million, but in that group, this Biafra community, we are only 420 something. What are you waiting for? Join the community group. That is where you get information. If you are in this space today, you've not made one single post about Briggy, I don't understand how you will market your government. Please do that. Go to our information minister page, pick something there, create a post. We have to market ourselves. We have to market our government. Go to our website. You can also share the link from our website directly. Let the world know that there is Briggy. And Briggy is working effectively in Washington, D.C. So the submission was made by our Prime Minister Ogechukwu Nkere. That time he was even the acting Prime Minister. And there is one thing that he wrote there, because the testimony goes back to the history of the Biafran people, how we have been killed. More than 5 million Biafrans were massacred. He dropped this testimony and they had to go through it, assimilated it, and they now understand our pain. And say, wow, truly there was a fight. And we heard what our Prime Minister said a few days ago, that they say when they went for meeting and a mighty dog was that the Congress persons that they visited say they know about the history of the Biafra people, what happened between 1966 and 1970. So our story is not new to them. When this document was submitted, they had to carry out research. And to God be the glory, they did not ask Ngozi Orazeze, is this true? They did not ask a man, because they would have denied that it is not true. They carried out their research and they came to that conclusion. It was not our Prime Minister that told. They said they told him directly. And our Prime Minister said it is on record. Before they could say Jack Robinson, they say, you don't know, let me tell you, that Nigerian first lady, that terrorist woman came and lied about the genocide. You see what is happening? We have gone far, Biafrans. All we need is your J and your Jemba. The Congress persons that our Prime Minister is working with, they already know that Nigeria is a terrorist country, but they are waiting for us, for action from our own side. We need funding. We need funding. Don't fold your hands and sit down and say they will come and help you. No. That document, I'm just giving summary of what that document contained. Because if you want to go through it, there is no time. I didn't know our Prime Minister will come today, but it's okay. We'll finish before he comes. That document also made reference to the ongoing killing in Biafra land today. It also documented how the Fulanis have murdered us in Ebonyi State, all the Ebonyi State, everything. All the killings in Enugu, how our mothers demonstrated, everything, the burnt houses, everything. How Soludo has been targeting our people, creating different terrorist groups to kill our people. Everything is documented in that document that they submitted. And they went through it and they confirmed it from all the American watchdogs and said, wow, this is a very great team we should work with, not the terrorist country. Because all the information they needed about the genocide in Nigeria, they got it from the Biafra Republic government in exile. You see how powerful we are. So don't let anybody scare you from bringing, because this is where you belong. When our first Prime Minister comes out, let me tell you, he's not coming out to do his position. Of course, you know that he stopped doing his position because you cannot be a baby forever. He stopped doing exposition. He used to come to the space once in a while. Why? Why was he doing that? Because he needed to wait and get information from our current Prime Minister from Washington, D.C. before coming to the space. Without our current Prime Minister, there is no Simon Ekpa, our first Prime Minister. So don't expect him to come out and start from the scratch again. No. He is very, very intelligent. And he knows what all of you are doing. He will come out and join Briggy. You see? So don't let anybody shift you from your goalpost. Come back to Briggy. Come to Briggy and give your funding. We don't want you to make an announcement. Just go to the website, donate and keep your receipt. You don't know today, tomorrow, they will say, okay, want to start ID. What is your evidence that you've been supporting your freedom? That document also made reference to the UN and African Commission that they've already ruled against Nigerian terrorist country. And this has to do with our Onyendu. African Commission on Human Rights and People's Rights, they ruled that Nigeria designated us as a terrorist organization, that it was a gross violation of the African Charter. But you know, African Commission on Human Rights and United Nations, they are terrorist organizations. They support terrorism. The same UN, Antonio, their secretary, that supported the integration of Boko Haram into Nigerian military. So we cannot even take them serious. Our target is to join the board of peace. That is where it matters. We want to have a seat also in that board of peace. That is where we are focusing, and that is our target, not UN. They've abandoned UN because terrorists have hijacked UN. Imagine OIC with 57 votes. They are there to protect the interests of the terrorists. Today, what did we see in the news headline? They have released terrorists. They say repentant Boko Haram. How many? 100 and something. The next thing now, they will integrate them into the military, and then the US will train them. Let us pray that what's happening in Afghanistan will not repeat again. But I know the United States is smarter than them. because you cannot reintegrate terrorists into your army and you expect the US to train them. They have released the prisoners. They say it is Ramadan. Let us release prisoners. But our Onyendu is still in detention, and somebody will come and say, talk about peace. What kind of peace is that? Who would have been the first prisoner for them to release? Is it not our Onyendu that is innocent? But they are releasing terrorists that have killed thousands and thousands of people. But our Onyendu is still in the prison. Anyway, we'll come to that. That document, I told you because of time, let's just, just summarize it, made reference to the detention of our Onyendu and our first prime minister in Finland. And it called for the Nigerian terrorists to release them unconditionally. Unconditionally, because they committed no offense. And the testimony cites Dr. Michael Rubin of the American Enterprise Institute, who has written that Finland is engaging in politically motivated persecution of African political exile. He made that document, made reference to this. And this man was also there when we did our congressional briefing. He spoke to Biafrans. He spoke to the entire world. You see? And at the end of that document, the Biafra Republic government in exile asked US things to do to invoke the Global Magnitsky Act to impose travel bans and financial sanctions on Nigerian officials responsible for killing Biafran Christians. And the US have done it today. They have been sanctioned. The list have been released. He said names, they only started with 3. Now they've also done the same thing to 8 Nigerians, which we mentioned a few days ago. The list will be endless. Soludo will be our sister mate list. We forgot to put Abba Kyari in that list that day. We have to add Abba Kyari. There are many people. I prepared it. I will give it to you, senior citizen Stella. They have started. So those of you that said, where did this Magnitsky sanction came from? It came from the Biafra Republic government in exile. We submitted that document. And to pressure Nigeria through targeted sanction and tariffs to relieve our Onyendu is ongoing. He will be released very soon. The same thing with our prime minister. So a lot is in that document. And we are very proud of the Biafra Republic government in exile. My co-host, let us manage the time. I don't know if you have anything to say before we now go to our Igwe.
Yeah, Tutos, okay.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sister Tutor, the tutorial herself. You say, so many things we have been saying here. It is called for all Biafrans to come around. Let us do this. Let us get this Biafra now. So many Biafrans are not asking why is it that the North, the Benue, the Kwara, Fulani terrorists are slaughtering people and they are not sending their military there. Why is it that Nigeria terrorist governments are not sending their military to Kwara, to Benue, to Plateau, where the terrorists are kidnapping and slaughtering people, but they choose to send their terrorist army in our land? If you are a Biafra and these things are not waking you up, and you keep on dwelling in this, or with this your bitiness or whatever however it may be, that means you are not just a wicked person, but you are a winch. Because if you think you are doing the prime minister, the current prime minister, you are doing it to get on him, why not you reconsider your family that you have in back home? We need to wake up now and do the needful. Every one of us need to wake up. I don't know why we need to be shouting and calling Biafrans to wake up. We are not asking you to bring everything you have in your house. We are not asking you to empty your account, your bank account. All we are asking you is to give us what is coming from your mind. Whatever your mind is made up, or whatever your mind tells you to do, give it to us. Let us join hand and do this thing. If you don't stand up, if you cannot stand up because you hate Mazoge Chukwunkere, why don't you stand up because of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that is in dungeon? Why don't you come out because of our prime minister? Why don't you come out because of our men, our Biafra Liberation Army, because of our defense who are in the bush? They have even come out and call everybody to come together. Let us come together. Our Biafra, our freedom that we are looking, I have not seen it as close as it is right now. And that is why Nigeria terrorist government is flying fighter jets in our land as we are speaking. So let us wake up. Let us wake up. Let us wake up. Thank you very much.
Right now,
Mr.
it is
TikTok, for giving me the opportunity. I have to yield the mic here. Thank you.
Udele and his boys
There were
are
Onyengere, one of Biafra land. They come the. Okay, everybody is listening. Let's forge ahead because my people, I wanted to get the real fact. So Tinubu government has released 117 repentant, according to them, Boko Haram, and they will integrate them into the society. And you, as a Biafran, you are sitting down there collecting money that belongs to you, to come and sabotage our freedom. You will not succeed. You've collected money because you feel that Biafra will not come. It is not achievable. You feel that it is business as usual. But you came very late. I'm so happy that all hope is not lost. At least we have a man, a respectable man. You know, he is not popular, but he has come out. This single act that he did has made him to be popular. Yes, this single act, this single comment that he made to the face of Tinubu and all the terrorists that sat in that room has made this man to be popular. Let us hear, because it is his case I want to go into now. Let's hear from him.
Bring this man out. If we don't want him in Nigeria, return him to Kenya or London, where they took him from. You see, some of us here are being asked to go and work, but the young people in the Southeast are so agitated, they can even beat us. They see us as sellouts. We come to Abuja, they may think we come to collect money, and then we keep quiet. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, DCFR, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Distinguished Senator George Akume, Your Royal Highnesses, Your Royal Majesties, I want to end the protocol here. Your Excellency, George Akume, Your Royal Highnesses, Your Royal Majesties, I want to end the protocol here.
He wants to end the protocol there. We will continue because I want to use this video. You see, this was a 2026 National Traditional and Religious Leaders Summit on health. and it was held at the State House in Abuja. Tinubu was present, and this was covered by their terrorist news media houses like Channels Television, The Punch, Premier Times, and all of them, not by Biafra media. So they covered it. Tinubu was there as a special guest of honor, and his terrorist wife was there, and that was the same woman that went to Washington claiming a global recognition. And during the segment for goodwill messages from traditional rulers, a king stood up, and that king is Igwe Dr. Lawrence. Yes, from Enugu State. He is a king, a title holder, a man whose role in our culture is to carry the voice and the dignity of his people to power. He stood up at that government event with the president of the terrorists physically present in that room. Cameras were rolling, they know how to do show. He told the truth. He stood up and told the truth. He said what the southern governors, even the senators, could not say. Release NNAMDI KANU. The youth in the south sees us as what? Sell out. I said, may God bless this Igwe. It shows that everyone can never be bribed from Biafra land. Hold on, Mama. Let me send the mic to you. So he stood up. May God bless him. He vindicated us and even our leader, Onyendu. He said what his lawyers could not say. Ejimako cannot say this. That one that carry beers like he goat can, what is his name? Okpara, and all of them. They cannot say what this man said because they are all complicit. They know they don't want Onyendu. I'm not fearing anybody. It is the truth. Because I don't see why you call yourself a lawyer and you are aligning yourself with the Nigerian government. You are there fighting against everything that the Biafran people are doing to release Onyendu. You have been fighting Sitato right from the first day Onyendu went into detention and was in DSS custody. You came out with a fake script. Till date, Ejimako is still fighting against our civil disobedience for Onyendu to be released. So he doesn't have the balls to say what this man said to the face of Tinubu. Instead, have you people noticed? He is hiding behind the statement of this man. He can never say it directly. All of them are hiding behind this man's statement. The statement that this Igwe did. This man said what the fake professors in Brigi cannot say to Tinubu. This man said what the fake professors like Soludo cannot say to the face of Tinubu. He said Soludo went to Asurok and was lying to Tinubu how he has ended it at home. He couldn't tell at Tinubu, release NNAMDI KANU if you want it at home to end. Of course, he was the one that made the first statement that whosoever is fighting Biafra, there will be no peace for that person. He's not seeking for peace. That he pitied those that are advising Tinubu. I think that time it was Buhari also to neglect our freedom, Biafra cause. That person does not mean well. And he recently went to Tinubu to give him updates. And Tinubu warned him, be careful because they've started publishing names of those that will freeze their property. Remember, your children are in Obodo Yibo. All of them in our Biafra land, all the illegitimate governors and leaders could not say what this man said. Instead, they are busy fighting against Onyendu's release. The family members cannot say because all of them have been bribed. They are guilty of corruption. They are guilty of selling their brother. None of them can say what this man said. He told Tinubu that he was personally unhappy that the same summit had featured speech after speech about unity and working as one family. And then he exposed the hypocrisy with one devastating observation. He wasn't happy that the Oni of Ife who had just given an opening speech calling everyone to work as one Nigeria, is preparing to confer a prestigious traditional honor on Sunday Igboho. The same Sunday Igboho that came out last week, I said, oh, I applaud NNAMDI KANU for counseling sit at home. He saw that it did not fly, that Biafran still sat at home. He now came out and said our Onyendu should stand down and negotiate with Tinubu. So this was the reason, because he wants Onyendu to be as corrupt as he is, to neglect the death of his parent that died because of Biafra. Sunday Igboho has not lost anyone. Even when the mother died, he came back to Nigeria and celebrated the burial. Nobody arrested him. Tinubu gave him money. They clustered around him. He buried the mother and went back. No arrest, nothing. He said, and yet, NNAMDI KANU, Igbo separatist, is serving a life sentence in Sokoto prison. Same category of activism, two completely different treatment. One get traditional crown and one get chains in a prison. Very far from his homeland. You see? That his brothers, they don't seem to understand how painful it is for him to stand there and hear what this man said. And when he remembers that his own son, NNAMDI KANU, is in detention far away in Sokoto, that he is not happy. He told Tinubu something that every Southeast traditional ruler knows, but they don't want to say it publicly. That our youths are so agitated and they see them, the elders, as sellouts. So that is what I want to talk about now, because, I want to, in my own understanding, to break down in that room what really happened in that room, because there were three separate reactions I observed from the video. I observed the laughter session when they were laughing. I observed the silence moment and then the clapping. And to me, each one tells a completely different story of what happened in that room. You understand? So that is where my focus is going to, channel to. So if you understand all these three, this is my own, or maybe you also view it, because the way I see things will be different from the way you see things. Because if you understand all three, you understand everything that is wrong with Nigeria and why Biafra Republic government had to take this fight to Washington, D.C. Because that is where it will end. That is the only place that will authorize and mandate the terrorist country to release Onyendu. That's it. So I want to look at the first reaction, which I call it the laughter reaction, because I was asking, why did they laugh when this king says Sunday Igboho is NNAMDI KANU's counterpart? I want to play out. Let me fast forward it. Let me see. Hold on, please. Let's listen.
Right? Your Excellency, we have come to Abuja today.
Oh, I want to fast forward small.
They called the 2014. By bringing the largest crowd into this place.
Okay. Let me start from here. We will connect. Let's think what he said here carefully. He did not make an emotional appeal when he said that Sunday Igboho is NNAMDI KANU's counterpart. It wasn't an emotional appeal. No, he made an accusation. And he said that the Oni of Ife is preparing to give Sunday Igboho, a man who campaigned for Yoruba what? Country, a prestigious traditional honor. While NNAMDI KANU, a man who campaigned for Biafra self-determination, is serving life imprisonment in Sokoto. He called them counterparts. Same category, same activism, but different treatment based on which tribe you belong to. Now, the people who laughed understood exactly what he was saying. Because they were not laughing because they thought it was funny. No. It's my own understanding. When you pick the mic, you can deliberate on your own part. They laughed because he had just exposed them publicly in a way that they could not answer. So if you think about that, if someone accuses you of something you know is true, but you cannot defend it, what do? You begin to laugh stupidly. Because laughing is the only way to pretend the accusation did not land properly. And it is how you signal to that room. We are not taking this seriously. We have the power here. So move on. But there is something even deeper. When this laughing was going on, the Igbo politicians who were sitting in that same room, all those senators and ministers, all those governors who worked in Tinubu's office, they also laugh. And that is the real betrayal you need to understand, because those politicians now know truth, but they know the truth better than any other person. Like, they know it more than me and you. They know that NNAMDI KANU is in Sokoto unjustly. They know the double standard is real. They know, but they are collecting appointment. They are collecting bribe. They are receiving allocation. So far as NNAMDI KANU is there, so they are benefiting, personally from sitting inside the government that has imprisoned their own son and brother. And so when this king stood up and named it, they could not stand with him. They laughed with the room. And they all looked at the floor. Go back and watch the video, because their personal comfort means more to them than the truth being spoken on their behalf. So that laughter is Nigeria saying to our people, we can treat Igbo people any way we choose. That's what it means. And the Igbo politicians inside our system will still show up for work the next day. We can rubbish you. We can do anything we like with you. You have lost your values. And nothing will happen. They now say, oh, this one is not a part of those that we can control. Oh, this is a different breed. Let us just like, we don't know that Sunday Igboho has collected money. Sunday Igboho is smarter than Onyendo, your son that you are coming to talk about, that their counterpart. We have been able to bribe Sunday Igboho with billions of naira. So he can never continue in what he did before. Sunday Igboho is our son. Oh, you don't know that your kingsmen have already sold NNAMDI KANU? They've collected money on his head. You are talking about comparing Sunday Igboho with NNAMDI KANU. Ha! Don't you know that NNAMDI KANU's family have already sold their brother out? You people are good for nothing. You cannot unite. That is what the laughter, the first part of the laughter, is all about. There is much more in that speech that you need to really understand what is happening there. Because I want to explain every laugh to my own understanding. And then, if you look at what also happened there, you will see that there was a laughter before he even said anything serious. They laughed before he started making this comment. Yes, go back and listen. Because of time, I will not be able to play. The first thing that happened when he stood up, he cut short the long list of protocol. He said, let me stop it here. Let me stop it here. The greetings to the president, the secretary general, and all that. And he said, I want to end the protocol here. And the room laughed and then applauded him. He said, what is the need of calling people by names? Let me end it here. Because that laughter was friendly. That first laughter was very, very friendly. They thought, oh, maybe as he's coming up, he's going to say the exact thing the corrupt politicians has been saying. That was the room. That particular laughter, they liked him that time because it was the first statement he made. They applauded, they liked him that time until he dropped the bomb. They found him entertaining that time, and they felt relaxed and said, oh, let's hear what he wants to say. I'm sure he's going to say the same thing his kingsmen have been saying. And they were laughing with him. They were all in good mood that time. They felt very, very safe. And then he used that warmth to open up. That warmth environment that they gave to him, that laughter, that cheer that they gave to him, he used that to open up. To say that, that he said what he really came to say, because it was paining him while he was sitting down, listening to Oni of Ife, telling them how he want to coronate Sunday Igboho. So that man, this is what we mean by a doctor. He was smart enough to make them laugh first, so that when the truth comes out, they were already leaning on. And he gave Tinubu a genuine compliment. He said, oh, the hole was fuller. All this was to prepare his mind than 2014 National Conference under Jonathan. And Tinubu said, oh, Yoruba people, they like all this kind of promotion and, teasing. That Tinubu has called, a first, and by bringing the largest crowd to that place. And Tinubu said, yes, I am a Jagaban, a Miloko. And the room cheered and laughed again. And Tinubu was very happy, because our king was building a foundation of goodwill before he would drop the truth. He's not a foolish man. He's a very strategic man, because had he been started with the truth, they would not listen to him, but he prepared their minds very well. And then there was this massive eruption when he named Sunday Igboho and KANU. He said that he listened to the Oni of Ife opening speech, calling everyone to work as one Nigeria. See Nigeria as one family. And he said he thought, maybe this is good. Maybe there is hope. Did you hear how he's sounding? And then he said, but this same imperial majesty is arranging to confer a very high honor on Sunday Igboho, who in the southeast we see as a counterpart of NNAMDI KANU. Are you following me? Are you following? Can you still hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tutos. We can
Thank
hear
you. Thank you. So there was a mixed reaction there. They were laughing, they were cheering, and you see that it was sustained. That applause was sustained. A mixed reaction was going on there. And it is mixed because different people in that room were reacting to different things. The laughter came from the people who were so uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. You see? Very, very uncomfortable. And this man also made a comment. He made a comment when he said they should return him to Sokoto. I mean to London. And they were like, let me play the video again. Let me play the video again. I hope I can reach there.
We want to refresh so that you share it to all.
We've been committed to the health of our people. But having come now to Abuja and listened, that personally, I don't feel very happy, because you were not here in the morning. There were several speeches. We listened carefully. I listened to the opening address by His Imperial Majesty, the Oni of Ife. And he was gingering all of us to work as a family, to work as a team, to see Nigeria as one. And then I felt maybe this is good. But when you look at it, this same Imperial Majesty is arranging to confer a very high honor on Sunday Igboho, who in my own part of Nigeria in the southeast, we see him as a...
Immediately he mentioned Sunday Igboho, the Oni of Ife was smiling and the Sanusi was smiling because they knew that he's going to tell them the truth. I don't know if you have the video, you can be watching alongside with me. They started the smile first. They started smiling because hypocrisy was exposed in just one sentence. The Nigerian establishment is willing to celebrate a Yoruba separatist while keeping an Igbo separatist in Sokoto prison. The same government, the same Nigeria, two men doing essentially the same thing, but one is in detention and one is getting royal honor. So our Igwe did not just ask for our Onyendu's release, he exposed the ethnic discrimination at the heart of the Nigerian justice system. And he did it in a way that even the Oni started smiling because the truth came out. He only had to respond with smile because there was no answer. The crowd laughter and cheering was the sound of truth landing in a room full of people who knew it was true. Let me continue.
Counterpart of NNAMDI KANU.
So that counterpart now is where Tinubu laughed and bent his neck. Because our people have betrayed our Onyendu. The family members have betrayed. They are laughing, telling him, you are just a novice. You don't know what has been happening behind the scene. They see that we have lost it, that our elders have sold us out. Our elders have sold Onyendu out. So why would he compare Sunday Igboho to Onyendu? Because they know, this man does not know what has been happening behind the scene. This man does not know that all the people that he has been working with, they are the reason why Onyendu has been detained and even sent all the way to Sokoto. Imagine Tinubu laughing as if he ate a wedu. Laughing, putting his head down. Say, oh, are you just waking up now? So you don't know what has been happening? Did you hear the laughter? And Igwe was not laughing with them. And inside the mind of this Igwe, if you look at his face, it's like, why are they laughing? Do I really look funny, or is what I'm saying not making sense? Has it gone this bad that I'm making a clear comparison and they're laughing? What is going on? He did not laugh with them. Because he doesn't know what has been going on, that the same people he feels he's working with are the same people that sold Onyendu out.
The only Igwe. Go ahead.
And my brother, fellow royal father, the Imperial Majesty, does not seem to understand the pain in my heart.
Now, let me go to this other one because of time. When I reach there, I will play the audio, the video, where he said, return him to Kenya or London, where they picked him from. He said, bring this man out. If you don't want him in Nigeria, return him to Kenya or London, where they took him from. And they laughed again. Wait, let me play it so that we really understand what is happening. Hold on.
When NNAMDI KANU is in Sokoto, so sad, the ball stops on the court. Bring this man out. If we don't want him in Nigeria, return him to Kenya or London, where they took him from. You see?
They laughed again. But if you look at this laughter now, it's different from the first one, because this was not the nervous laughter of people being exposed. No. This was the laughter of people who found the demand almost unbelievable. Because what the king was saying plainly and very simple to the Tinubu terrorist president was, if you will not give him justice, at least give him his freedom. If you are so afraid of NNAMDI KANU, because that is what they're afraid of. That is what the Southern governor said, that when you release him, they will not allow, he will not allow election to be held, and this and that and that. He said, if you are afraid of NNAMDI KANU, that you cannot release him inside Nigeria, put him on a plane and let him go. So they laugh because no traditional ruler is supposed to speak to the president like that. You are supposed to come to Abuja, respect the occasion, say something, carefully worded so that you don't hurt the president and then you go home. But this man was breaking every unwritten rule of how these interactions are supposed to work. He was so direct and so plain in what he was saying. He was so unbothered by the power in the room. He did not care because it pained him why in that same room that he was saying, they are planning to coronate Sunday Igboho, and NNAMDI KANU is in the detention, and no one dared to speak except this man that stood up. No one. No one. So that room did not know what to do with him except to laugh. The truth hurts. And that laugh also contains something else. It contains contempt. Because the people laughing were thinking this man is saying things that will never happen. How can, he can say return him to Kenya. Tinubu will never do it. Because the king's men, all the southern governors have signed for them to keep NNAMDI KANU. It is only what me and you will do now by funding, by supporting Brigade that will release Onyendu. After the man have said this thing, have they not released 117 terrorists? Have they released Onyendu? The answer is no, showing that it can never be effective. If you like, roll on the floor. Is our people not collecting money? Did they bargain? Did they, what is his name? Obi Kubana bargain? That was a very platform for me to bargain. We say, tell your father to release Onyendu. Instead, they kept quiet. They collected the money. And so they laugh at what they considered an impossible demand. But they should not worry. A hand will touch them from DC. And they'll be forced to do it. The fact that they laugh at that demand is another evidence. It means the people in that room, the government or the military, all of them have already decided that Onyendu will not go free. So they're laughing at him because they have sealed it. They are not even pretending to consider it. They laugh because to them the question is already closed. It's a direct confession. And they've passed a message for our people to sit up and do whatever they know they have to do for Onyendu to be released. And he went on to say that the youth can even beat us. So they see us as sellouts. This is one of the most honest things said in that room by this man. Because he told Tinubu that, that he and other traditional rulers have been asked to go and work with the government, right? To participate, to help with health programs and other initiatives. And I'm asking, what is the connection with health program and the coronation of Sunday Igboho? Did they come out intentionally to mock us? The answer is yes. Since you have abandoned your own, let us tell you how to take care of your child. We cannot sell out our own. Instead, we are going to crown him with the chieftaincy while you have decided to kill yours, while you have decided to abandon yours, while you have decided to collect money and sell your brother. They are teaching Biafrans what unity is all about. Yes, that is the message they gave to us. So he said the young people of Southeast are so agitated that they can even beat us. Yes, they are waiting to beat you. He did not say that they are angry, agitated. You are looking for something. You are looking for your freedom. And then, as they are looking for their freedom, they became agitated because they have seen what you have done to NNAMDI KANU. And they have also heard about this coronation. They have seen that Sunday Igboho is a free man. They have seen how you have released the terrorist. But Onyendu is there. You see what is happening? So he told them, they will kill us, they will beat us. And for this man to say this, maybe he has been threatened. Maybe the youth in that community has gone to him and said, this Abuja that you are going, if you don't come back with Onyendu, if you don't come back with a positive thing, we will not open the door for you. This is how you people go to Abuja and collect money. So he's also telling Tinubu that that strategy is no longer working. That strategy of us coming to Abuja and going back to lie to the youth is no more working. The youth do not believe us anymore. The youth are so angry about Onyendu and about everything else happening in their region that they have stopped respecting the traditional rulers who participate in this arrangement. That's the message he's telling Tinubu. That it will no more work. We are losing our authority over our people because we have failed them. We are not doing what we are supposed to do. And the reason we are losing it is because you are holding NNAMDI KANU and we keep coming to Abuja, going back empty-handed, not with NNAMDI KANU. So this partly, this part is very, very deep and honest. Because Dr. Lawrence admitted that the young people are really seeing them as sellouts. Very clear.
We just go to terrorist page.
Keep in mind that this man did not say this to complain about the youth. No. But to tell Tinubu the depth of the crisis going on in Biafra land. That he is risking his own personal safety by even coming to Abuja. You see? He decided to choose truth over comfort. Now, he said one thing that I really love so much. Well, let me play so that I will pass the mic because of time.
Some of us here have been asked to go and work, but the young people in the southeast are so agitated, they can even beat us. They see us as sellouts. We come to Abuja, they may think we come to collect money, and then we keep quiet. So, sir, please do something about this. Do something about this. We cannot make progress in this country if we don't tell ourselves the whole truth. There's no way. There's no way. Now, again, they were talking about Southern Traditional Rulers Committee on Health. And the eminent professor Patel was saying that this will become an annual event, what we are doing today, if I heard him correctly. The truth of the matter is that there's nothing like Southern Traditional Rulers Council.
Bam. There is nothing like Southern what? Traditional Rulers Council. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. He called out a specific arrangement that has been referenced during the summit, while others, kept quiet and sat down there. Others have already admitted because they are complicit, they have been bribed. This man was taking note of everything each person was saying in that place. Very, very attentive. Because without him taking note, he would not have been able to come out to counter it. So he was very, very active, not a passive listener. Very, very active. And he selected the point that he jotted down to come out openly and save me and you. No other person would have done it. There is nothing like a Southern Traditional Rulers Council. There is nothing like that. The South is not the North. We have our own system. Unity in diversity. We have our system. Don't cage us together. Don't converge us together. He was exposing another layer of how Nigeria manages and manipulates the southeastern part of Nigeria. Because the terrorist country, they have this habit of creating umbrella bodies. They will now form all this committee and put you together, whether you are compatible or not. That is what they are good at. And then they'll begin to distribute resources. How many did they give us during, how many palliative did they give us during the COVID time? Nothing. They abandoned us. Oh, now it is time for election. They want us to come together under one umbrella. The man told them, we have our own system. We have our own way of doing things. You see, he came out boldly to say that, and whosoever controls the structure speaks for the South. That is the effect of it, the negative impact of it. And who are they targeting to give the head of that council? It is the Oni of Ife. And who will be the national chairman of that council? Sultan of Sokoto. That's how it works. And then what will be the end? They now Islamize everyone. All that you have to do, have to align with Islamic policy and belief. You cannot dodge it. So the man came out outrightly and said, no, there is nothing like that. If you come and if you give money to people on the basis of this so-called Southern Council, it is not correct. Give the resources directly to the Southeast. Don't give it to people who present themselves without their people's mandate. That was what the man said. That was what he said. And then he says something that is very, very direct and unique. Democracy is a representative government. And anybody who goes to present himself without these people is not democratic. It's not democratic. That is what our Biafra Republic government is doing. When our Prime Minister goes to Washington, D.C., he is going there to represent all of us. We are supposed to come together and give him that support with our Ije and our Ijema. That is democracy in real time. That's how it works. The man there is telling them how to play democracy, because democracy started from our side. He's educating them and also letting them to know that we know what we want and we have our own system. So he was busy talking about fake councils that does not exist just because politics is at the corner. And it applies to every Igbo politician who sits in that Tinubu's cabinet, representing themselves and their personal benefit, because that is what they are there for. They couldn't counter what Oni of Ife said. You see? So democracy is a representative government, and anybody who goes to present himself without these people is not democratic. So the man called out, a structural manipulation by the Nigerian terrorist government. Don't put us together. That is not who we are. That's not who we are. He challenged him to his face. He said it to his face. So he's not just talking about held money. He was defending the political identity of the Biafran people. He said, we are not just the South. We are the Southeast. Recognize us specifically. Respect our structure. Respect our culture. Respect our identity. So this is also a self-determination argument that the man played out that day. We know who we are. Don't force us together. And guess what? The final reaction. Then I'll pass the mic before we go to the next one. When he finished speaking, the room gave him a final round of sustained applause. Bah, 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 bah. And then they moved on to the next item on the agenda. No Southeast governor stood up after him. No Igbo senator in that room backed him up publicly. No minister, nothing. To even say, oh, this is Igwe, what he said is right. They did not. They did not even say, oh, we are endorsing this demand. Nobody did it. Nobody. That man was all alone in that place. All alone. And the session continued, and today Onyendu is still in Sokoto. Nobody supported him. What a lonely man. What a lonely man from our people. Not even one elected official was there to tell Tinubu, yes, we support what Arigwe is saying. They were all quiet. They did as if it doesn't concern them. Of course, it does not. They are thinking of the next line. They will go back and tell their youth. You see? This is the reason why the Biafra Republic government in exile does not wait for any Igbo politician. We are not waiting on them. That is why we took the flight to Washington, D.C. That is why we took the flight to the Congress. That is why we took the flight to the Global Magnitsky Act. Because we know that that is where they will listen to us. Briggy is doing the work that 20 Southeast senators, or whether they are up to 50 now, and all the governors should have been doing all along, but they refuse to do it. All of them refuse to do it. I don't know if you are still hearing me. Did they clap? The answer
Yes,
is
go
yes.
ahead.
There was another section that they were clapping. They clapped. There was another section that they were quiet. Let me even start from the one that they were quiet. When he said, the ball is in your court, everywhere was quiet. The ball is in your court. This was after the laughter. He did not apologize. He did not soften his word. He looked directly at the president of Nigeria and said, bring this man out. The ball stops in your court. And the room went dead silent, dropped pin silent. Because making a direct demand to Tinubu on camera and in the public is completely different thing. A different thing entirely from making a comparison that people can laugh away. He dropped it quietly and pointed at him. Because, comparison can be dismissed, but a direct demand requires response. And nobody in that room, not even the minister, not even any Igbo politician sitting there, wanted to be seen responding to it. Because responding means taking a position. And when you take a position, it means accountability. And accountability is the one thing Nigerian politicians will never do. They avoid it. So they sat in silence, not because they were thinking about what he said, no, but because silence was the safest option in that room at that moment. So the silence of people who have been told a truth they already know, but have collectively decided not to act on. And the next reaction was the clapping. Why did they clap after? This is what is even paining me the most. Because after the silence, they now clapped. Not because they agreed, though. Not because they were moved to action, no. Because we would have seen it the next day as they are releasing prisoners. Not because they were promising to do something. They clap because clapping is how Nigerian political class in an uncomfortable moment without having to engage with it. They will clap and clap and clap and clap and clap and clap and clap. And in that culture of events and submit and government function, clapping means, oh, okay, we have heard you. We have heard, okay, let's move on. You see what they did to him? You give the man his applause, you make him feel heard, and then you sit back, go back to your schedule, keep your ministry, keep your allocation, and make sure NNAMDI KANU stays exactly where he is. So the clapping was not respect. No, 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 no. The clapping was a full stop. We have heard you, okay. It was a sound, the sound of a room saying your time is up. Yalla, go, because he has told them the truth. Remember, they were silent before, and now they ended up with clapping. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is my own understanding. Oh. See, the laughter, the silence, and the clapping, they are all connected. They all come from the same source. Nigeria is not afraid of Igbo pain. They are not afraid of our pain. Nigeria is not afraid of our Biafran leaders speaking the truth. Nigeria is not afraid of bold speeches at government summit. Nigeria is afraid of organized, external, documented, sustained pressure that its patronage system cannot reach, and that is Washington, D.C. That is Washington, D.C. All the Igbo politicians in that room, by laughing or even the time that they stay silent or even the one that they applauded and going back to their seat, they were sending Tinubu a message. We are still here. We are not going anywhere. You did not have to worry about us. We are still behind you. We are still giving you the support. Don't mind that man that is talking there. And Tinubu received the message. So this is the reason why we cannot wait for them. They will not do anything. This is the reason why Biafra Republic government in exile went to Washington, D.C. I will yield my mic here, please. Because the only pressure that Nigerian cannot neutralize with money is the pressure that comes from outside the system entirely. And that is exactly where Briggy has planted its flag. Washington, D.C. Which we can do more with our J and Ijemba. Let them do more, because it is only what we do that will release our leaders from detention. I will yield here. I think I've talked at length. We still have like 45 minutes, then we'll end.
Yeah. You have been talking, and we Biafrans are enjoying it. So let me contribute to what you just mentioned now. I mean, the topic you just treated. You see, it is high time every Biafrans know that the problem we are having, the reason why we have not gotten Biafra is not coming from Nigeria. It is those useless. When I call them useless, my own is that I don't know how to paint words. They are, before me, they are useless, but they are very, very irritating to me. Like when I was playing a program that our information minister had host, was it yesterday, about this useless Soludo. In fact, I was listening the voice of this Soludo, and the voice, I can't hear that useless voice. The way it bites.
We are not hearing you, NNAMDI one.
These people have known that they don't have any regard, nobody value them. And that is why they have decided to make sure they silence our leader. And the fact remains that, the Bible always, these are the places I can even tell those that, especially the Christianity, let them be using this verse of Bible that says, the kingdom of heaven suffereth the violent, and only the violent taketh it by force. The Christians supposed to be using this very portion of Bible, not telling us about, although let me not go there. You see, the time has come when we need to take this our kingdom by force. These governors, they don't care about Islamization. They don't care. I made a video when I said, why can't these useless governors condemn what
NNAMDI one, we are not hearing you. Are you guys hearing him? Oh.
I can't hear him. Or is it from me? Can anybody still hear Onyenye?
No, it's like he's having a network issue.
you are not hearing me?
Yeah,
You cannot hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, but you went off for like 20 seconds or so. Yeah, you can go ahead now, Mazon. You can go ahead. Are you there?
In essence, is that these people are slaves. Can I still be heard?
You are breaking, Mazon. Maybe you will go down and come up again, please. You are breaking seriously, and we are not getting your point in full.
Okay, you can take over the mic then.
All right, Tutos, try and bring Mazon down. bring it up again.
Okay. Okay.
So fluent in submission. Yes, thank you very much, and once more, Tutos. Let me just rush and chip in some things as well regarding this point you just treated regarding one of our Igwe that went to Abuja to speak truth to power. And before I go into that, I want to, you say something about the clapping and the laughing from the so-called traditional elite and the so-called politicians in that conference. It's not that maybe they are happy regarding what that our Igwe is saying, but they are only doing that, inventing out their frustration and disappointment because they thought that maybe that day everybody will speak in their favor, but they were very, very much disappointed. That is why you see some of them, clapping, putting their hands down to, give that force and smile and the laughter on their faces. And in that regard, I want to appreciate that our Igwe, you understand that, I want to appreciate him for his bold and brave stand in speaking truth to power to those that be. And I also want to remind him that, although his words are political, you understand, his words are political, but you should also understand that what we, the Biafran people, are fighting today and what our Supreme Leader, NNAMDI KANU, stands for today is totally different from what Igbo did and what Igbo is doing today. Because if you look closely in what is happening in Nigeria today, it has been all what we, the Biafran people, and our Supreme Leader and also our Prime Minister have been saying for decades, and especially regarding this Christian genocide at the international community, and most especially the United States of America have come into to find a way to address this genocide of Christians in Nigeria. And I also want to give him a little advice, because when he was speaking in that podium, he said that he needs to go back and work hard. And I want to, advise him and encourage him that if it means going back to start and continue working with these corrupt politicians, these so-called Southeast corrupt politicians, all his efforts will be, it will just be in futility, because the only thing he can be able to do now, if he knows that he's serious and he wants the release of our Supreme Leader, and now is the time for him to start galvanizing and organizing his fellow traditional rulers in the Southeast, because with them and us, we can get this Biafra without these corrupt politicians that are there for their own selfish interests and gain. And maybe if there's any way he's listening to the to this space, or maybe if he's going to listen to this, because I think that maybe they are not. All the whole politicians in Biafra land, all the so-called in Nigeria, they are listening to what we are saying, and they are really, recognizing our resolve. And I want to use this opportunity to tell him to start galvanizing and organizing other traditional rulers so they can be able to approach the Biafran Republic government in exile, because as it stands now, the reason why the Nigerian terrorist government lobby people to speak in their own interest is because of what the Biafran Republic government in exile have been able, to achieve in Washington, D.C. And a good collaboration between the Biafran people and the traditional rulers in Biafra land is going to go a very long way for us. Although he also, recognized the fact that we are different people. He told them politically, and they understand that, yes, this man really stands for whom he is, which is Biafra, because I would not like to, he spoke politically there, and all those people that were listening to, including the so-called president of Nigeria, they understood very well where that our Igwe stands. And for him to be able to make progress towards the stand that he has, started, is for him to approach, for him and his fellow traditional rulers in Biafra to
to approach the Biafran Republic government in exile, so they can be able to sit down and see how to organize our people for our own Christian state. Because as it stands now, the Nigerian terrorist government doesn't have any plans, because all what they have been doing in Washington, D.C. with their so-called lobbies have not yielded any result all this while. And they understand this, so they are trying to come and see how they, that is why you see them now trying to do southern traditional rulers. But for I don't want to bring in the Buhari regime. I want to bring in this so-called Tinubu's regime. Ever since that Tinubu have come into power, what has Tinubu done for the Biafran people? Or you want to tell me that these so-called people that are coming out to form this deceptive southern so-called traditional rulers council are not aware that the Biafran people have continuously been excluded from the Nigerian budget and project and infrastructures? They want to tell we, the Biafran people, that they are not aware that their so-called government have been excluding in particular the people of Biafra, which they call the southeastern region today. And the reason why I'm saying all these things is for them to understand that we, the Biafran people, that the Igwe have said is coming back to talk to, we really know what is happening. And I believe that you understand very well our resolve, and our resolve is Biafra. So if they want to hop into that moving train, because now is an opportunity for every one of them to jump into the moving train of the Biafran Republic government in exile. So which at the end of the day, when this Biafra is finally actualized, they will have their respect intact and their positions intact. Because if they fail to recognize the Biafran Republic government in exile, which is the government of the Biafran people today, I don't think he will be making any headway in whatever he thinks he stands for, or whatever he thinks he's trying to do in making sure there is this coexistence of peace between the Biafran people and the so-called Nigerian people. We don't hate anybody, because at the end of the day, we are still going to work as neighbors. But what we want now is our own Christian, our own Judeo-Christian nation, where Christians' lives will be respected, where Christian lives will be protected, and where Christian lives will be valued at the end of the day, and other religious people in Biafra land as well. So I just want to keep this thing out there for them to understand where the Biafra people are standing, where we'll continue to stand. Because when we come to our resolve, is either Biafra or Biafra at the end of the day. So thank you very much. Mazi Onyinye, you can have the mic now, because we don't have much time, so we can call up the COS to the Prime Minister to the mic to enlighten the Biafran people more what we are doing here today. Mazi Onyinye, are you there?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I was in the spirit when the mic, when I got to understand that I was not coming out. So what I was trying to say is this. It seems that these people, these governors and so-called terrorist politicians in Southeast, it seems that they are the worst. Not even it seems. That is what it was. These people are the worst thing that happens to us. And I begin to ask Chukwuokika Abiyama, does it mean that this is the kind of cause, or this is what, is there anything that warrants this kind of useless people to be befalling us? Because I can't imagine, I can't understand, why is it that this set of people, others are fighting for their people? We are here talking about Onife crowning Sunday Igboho, who do the same agitation as our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But their people speak for him. Their people rallied around for him. But in our own case, what happens? We have witnessed and we have seen Shegumi, terrorist Gumi, the way he have standing and speaking for their terrorists. What is the other one's name? Shetima also there. Shetima also there, and this Sultan of Sokoto as well. All of them are defending their people. They also can see how these terrorist northerners are releasing Boko Haram and calling them repentant Boko Haram, repentant or whatever.
Every day. Want to be.
Why is these useless people in Southeast that call themselves politicians? Why is it that they are not doing anything? They are not concerned. Even the citizens are dying is none of their business. Are we saying, or is it that these people are cursed to us, that a curse that has befallen us? Because when I begin to reason, when I begin to think and see what these people have become and the way these people are doing, I begin to imagine if these people are human beings. And that brings me to a call that I am calling to Biafrans. If you are a Biafra and you don't know your problem, you don't know that the reason why Nigeria is having a time like this with us is because of these useless people. Had it been we do not have anybody called Soludo, a useless man called Soludo, had it been we did not have any useless man called Hope Uzodemma, had it been we did not have any useless man called Peter Mba, do you think that Nigeria will be having the kind of privileges they are having, even to an extent of jailing our leader Mazin Nandikal, who have not committed any crime? So our people should stand up now. Stand up and know those that is your enemy. The in-house enemy is the worst enemy you can ever think of. And that is what is lingering this our freedom fighting. So we have to bring this fight to those indoor enemies, these internal enemies. Thank you very much. I yield my mic here. That is just the point I want to make. Thank you. These people are cursed, and I really applaud this our Eze, our Igbe who have made an impact. I really applaud him as well. He should keep on and stand on the truth. For the Bible have said it that you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Thank you very much. I yield my mic here. Day one.
They were our NKERE, one of Biafra land. Hey, so you were in the spirit. It is okay. Yeah, let's give a COS before we give to Charles. I wanted to, anyway, yeah, original COS, please go ahead. Charles, just give him a few minutes. You have the mic, okay?
We're gonna refresh.
COS, are you there?
We're gonna refresh.
Yes.
Yeah,
Greetings,
welcome.
everyone.
Tell me, we want to refresh.
Our host, tutor, and the co-hosts, I greet each and every one of you.
On the WhatsApp group.
All our senior citizens, I see Love, I see